What's up, guys? It's Ivan. So in this video, I wanted to talk to you about the one good trait that you must abolish if you want to speed up your affiliate marketing results. So there's a lot of different skills and personality traits that are required to be successful in this field and in really any field, right? You may know tons of them like hard work, persistence, being patient, right? All that stuff. But there's also skills that are bad that you really can have if you want to be successful, really in any field as well. In this case, it's, what I wrote down, being lazy, being a slow learner. Like you can't have that if you're doing affiliate marketing, if you're doing online marketing. You got to be quick. You got to be able to adapt and to make changes. So in my experience, there was this one good trait that was really stopping me from having my results. It took me 4 months to have my first successful online marketing campaign. But had I learned about this thing that was stopping me sooner, I would have even seen results earlier than that. And this is something you see in job interviews where people ask you, "Hey, what's your weakness?" And you say it's a weakness, but you actually try to masquerade it as a strength, right? So this is what this trait is. It's probably familiar to you. So what it is perfectionism, all right? So your progress will be incredibly slowed down if you're too much of a perfectionist in this area, because online marketing is all about testing, testing, testing. So I'm telling you from my experience, like I said, it took me 4 months. About 3 months in, I realized, you know what, this thing is really slowing me down. I need to be able to learn much faster. I need to be able to pick up, because once I had a campaign that wasn't doing well, I realized it took me way too long to get back up and resubmit that campaign with all the changes I made. So I realized, you know what, like this has to change. I can't keep doing this because I'm wasting too much time. And at this rate, it's going to take years before I see my first campaign. That's not what I wanted to do. So here, like I said, had I not been a perfectionist earlier, I would have seen results earlier than that. So how can it slow you down in this field? Well, as I mentioned, online marketing is all about testing, right? The more times you fail, the faster you will succeed, because it's all about learning. You put something up and you say, hey, this didn't work. Let me look up why this didn't work and let me make changes on that. And then you make changes, you apply it again. Hey, this didn't work again. Let me look up and see what I could do or could have done to make it better. And after doing that 100 times, you're going to have a very successful campaign. And the best thing is you're going to understand what it takes to make a successful campaign. And that what you're going to do is you're going to scale it. And not only are you going to scale your campaign, right, increase the budget and make more money out of that, but you're also going to scale it across other offers and other campaigns, already knowing what works and what doesn't. So the faster you can kind of get back on your feet after a failure and resubmit your campaign and try again, try again, try again, the faster you will see results. So let me give you some examples of what I used to do versus what I do now, which really sped up my process. So first, I did not submit my campaigns on these traffic sources we went over in my earlier YouTube videos, Facebook, Google, Bing, until my landing pages were perfect. So I used to, make sure that every single word, every single picture, every line was perfect, right? Like literally, like if I would have those little dividers, I would make sure they were the exact same color, exact same location, like they were in the exact same position, even if one of them was a bit to the side and the other one was more in the center. Like I would spend time, I would look through that, I would fix it, I would double check the colors, make sure the gray matched the light gray, even though that's something that's not even noticeable. Like I just wanted to do it because I just wanted my page to be perfect. And guess what? When I submitted that campaign and it failed, all of that time spent wasn't because the line was 1 millimeter off. I can guarantee you, out of 200 people, if I only got one sale, it's not because of that line, right? And if you may, if you may have noticed, when you look up online, there's some really ugly websites out there that are making sales. We used a tool in the past called similarweb.com. I'll put a link up above where I kind of guide you through that extremely useful tool to spy on your competitors and to see where their traffic is from, how much traffic they're getting, how well their funnel is converting, or their main page, for that matter at first, right? But you can see how many people leave the page, how many people stay on the page, where the traffic is coming from. And you see some really ugly pages that are getting pretty low bounce rates. And it's just incredible. It makes you think, why the hell am I spending so much time fixing every little detail on my page when I don't have to. Because when you fail, you know, you're going to have to redo it anyway. You're going to have to make some changes, make some adjustments, right? So why spend so much time making it so perfect when it's not going to work? Now, if you're a professional marketer and you already know exactly what works, then sure, by all means, make it perfect, make yourself happy, because you know that from your first time, you're going to be successful, right? But if you're someone learning, and actually, even if you are a professional, you are still learning. There's still new things coming in every day. You should still focus on kind of the longer term instead of making it perfect right now. Okay, so that's the first thing. The other thing is I wouldn't submit my campaigns until I created multiple split test variations. So, we all know split testing is extremely important in online marketing. You don't see progress, you don't see results unless you split test. We know that. But is there a point in split testing before you actually know whether your campaign sells or not? I learned that no, there is absolutely no point in doing that. The difference between a headline or a picture, will not make the difference between a campaign that's getting you 0 sales out of, 500 visitors and a campaign that's going to make you 500 sales out of 500 visitors, right? A little headline or a little image will not make that jump, right? And especially if you take the time to pick good fitting images, they're most likely going to be all related, all similar to each other, all having the same kind of idea. You're not going to see such a big difference. So what I did is I started just submitting my campaigns, just the basic, least amount of effort. I also used to make videos for example, for Facebook ads, I would make videos on my Facebook ads. The very first time, I stopped doing that. I put up images, just basic images. Hey, if the product sells and it doesn't have to be making a profit. Like, as long as just the product sells, like if I'm getting 10 sells for every, $100 spent, whatever the math is, as long as you're near that kind of your cost versus revenue target, as long as you're somewhere in that area, even below it, then it will make sense to split test. But if you have 0 sales, like I said, out of 500 visitors, like, what's the point of split testing? There's you would need to do some major restructuring at that point of either your offer or your ad or whatever it is. So split testing would not have saved you, right? So now what I do is now I wait until I see that, hey, my product is within my KPI, what they say, key performance indicators. Now, after I see that, then I split test. Then I spend time improving my campaign. But I used to just split test right away, make 3 to 5 different copies right off the bat. And when the campaign didn't sell at all, that's so much wasted time. Think of that, right? I spent time making 3 to 5 different additional ads when the product just didn't sell at all, right? So I had to just redo everything, and then I had to go back and redo all of those ads as well. It's just so time consuming, right? And with the new approach, it just saves you so much more time. So one thing I wanted to point out is, don't get me wrong. This doesn't mean that now you can't do anything perfect. Just do the work and put it out there. There are a few things that you do need to make sure are perfectly set up, such as your tracking. It has to be 100% set up. I mean, there's no way around it. You cannot allow for tracking errors. You need to double check, you need to triple check, you need to make sure your tracking works, because this is how you make money. Like, you can't have online marketing without tracking. That's a must. You need to be able to see whether what you're doing is getting you results or not. And I have a full playlist on ClickMagick, which is our tracking link system. If you want to check that out, I'll put a link up above. But basically, some things you do need to make perfect. Like I said, tracking, or even autoresponder, even your emails. You can't have stupid errors like writing the wrong name, or maybe mixing your campaign messages. If this campaign is for weight loss and this campaign is for online marketing, you can't by accident mix them together. So you need to make sure those things are set up perfectly, because those are important. But things like having a line a few millimeters off, or slightly different colors, stuff like that, like, don't worry about it. Just let it stay there. Submit your campaign. I promise you, your results will not be affected because the line's a millimeter off. Okay, so determine what's important for you and focus on that. Don't waste time on stupid stuff. All right, so the quote I like to go by now is, better done than perfect. Like I said, in regards to certain things, so keep this in mind. It's better to have something out there and to see the results faster and to fail faster, rather than wait like I used to. Maybe it took me several days to make everything perfect, only to come to find out that my campaign failed and it didn't work. And now I have to go back and redo everything, right? And it's just such a waste of time. So your goal now should be to look forward to failing. Fail as many times as possible, because the more you fail, the more you will learn. I mean, there's no way around it. After you fail and you have an unsuccessful campaign, you start looking up and saying, hey, how come my campaign didn't work? Especially if you're using a tracking system and you have a funnel and you see which part of that funnel was kind of my wall. Where did people not decide to go further, right? At which point, and then you make changes, and then you learn, and then you make other changes, you learn, and then you apply it across every, across every other product you sell. So that's about it. I hope this was helpful for you. It really changed my perspective and really allowed me to succeed much faster than at the rate at which I was going. So take kind of my mistakes for you, and I hope you gain some value from it as well. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought, and whether you've maybe faced the exact same problems as I did, being a perfectionist, right? Because it really doesn't benefit you at all in online marketing. You really just have to fail, fail, and fail before you see that first successful campaign. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. For those of you that have subscribed, thank you. I do appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video.